Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Home Loans Made Easy. My name is Ryan Johnson with rnhhomeloans.com. So today's question: why do home loans have to be so complicated? If you've ever found yourself confused going through either a home purchase loan or a refinance loan, you're in good company. I've worked with CEOs, CFOs, university presidents, tax accountants, etc., that have either been unclear, uncertain, to completely confused by the entire loan process. There's a couple of reasons why home loans are confusing. The first is most individuals will only do a couple of home loan transactions in a lifetime. You just don't get a lot of practice. And even if you did do a home loan 5 years ago, there's a good chance that these home loans the process is going to be significantly different. Every so often, the regulators like to get their fingers into the process to try to improve, tweak, change, to attempt to simplify it, and importantly, to make sure that you are protected and to make sure that you are covered. But in the process of doing so, the loan process changes, and you're starting from ground zero, even if you've done a home loan in the past. Second reason is loan jargon. We're talking about full-blown mortgage geek terminology here. The bankers started working on this terminology hundreds of years ago, and it's evolved to where we're at today. But there's words that you're going to find in a home loan that you won't see anywhere else. Loan estimate, closing disclosure, prepaids, escrow, rescission periods, cooling off periods, et cetera, et cetera. So the jargon and the terminology and the acronyms can be tricky as you're going through the loan process. And if you're not doing it, if you're not an industry professional that sees it all the time, it's going to be confusing to you. Lastly, and most importantly, is the numbers. There are several pieces of the puzzle that come into play that it would be well worth your time to understand. Interest rates, closing fees, closing cost, prepaid items, escrows, cash to close, etc. Now, when you look at it, it's actually a pretty simple equation, but if you're not clear on how the puzzle pieces fit together, it can be very confusing. And if you have confusion with your home loan process, it's going to lead to two seriously negative benefits. Number one, confusion leads to uncertainty, and uncertainty leads to stress. And if you've ever done a loan before, and if you've ever felt that stress of feeling like you're making a wrong decision after you're already committed, if you've ever felt that stress of coming down to like the final days of your settlement deadline on a home purchase or a rate lock, it is a horrible place to be. Second result that can come from being uncertain with the loan process is you can make costly mistakes. And when you're dealing with an amortized loan and 30 years of the wrong interest rate or 30 years of financing the wrong closing costs, it can be a very costly mistake. The good news is if you start early, you can understand, you can get certainty, which will lead you to getting the best loan, and then the process is so much more less stressful and so much easier along the way. And there are numerous resources out and available to help you to get clear on the loan process. We've got great resources at our Home Loans Made Easy podcast. We've got a nice resource accessibility at rnhhomeloans.com. The point is, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And there are lots of resources out there. So don't forget, know before you owe. As always, thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.